Well, welcome into the 10th episode of this year's Black and Gold Report. I'm Trevor Williams, and I'm glad you could join us today. A lot to get to on this homecoming Saturday at UNCP, and we'll start with a look back at football's trip to Concord last weekend.
Braves visiting Concord in West Virginia, and some early defense here for the Black and Gold as Cameron Williams forces a fumble on the first play from scrimmage. Braves recover, then Josh Sheridan follows it up 2 plays later with a 27-yard touchdown rush, and the Braves off to the hot start, a 7-0 lead. Later in the quarter, Jamal Petty hauls this in from Adam Fulton, 21 yards. What a catch by Petty. 2-point conversion good, Concord up 8-7. 11-7 now, and Miles Grant pushes the pile for an 11-yard score to put the Braves back on top. But on the ensuing play from scrimmage, a Jamal Petty 77-yard touchdown run puts Concord ahead for good. Concord goes on to win 31-22. UNC Pembroke falling to 1-6 on the year. Unable to score in the fourth quarter, 3 times the Braves tried to convert on 4th down and failed in the contest as well.
UNC Pembroke is home today to take on Lenoir-Rhyne at 4 p.m. It is the final home game for the Braves this season and also is homecoming for the Black and Gold. If you can't be at the game, you can follow along on the UNCP Sports Network. We'll talk with head coach Shane Richardson about the matchup a little bit later on in the show. Senior days all around today. UNCP soccer also kicks off at home with a noon start against Young Harris. Today's match will decide seeding for the Braves heading into the PBC tournament Tuesday. Let's check out the Braves' last 2 match highlights from earlier this week.
UNC Pembroke soccer, an exciting match on Wednesday night against the USC Aiken Pacers. In the 67th minute, it was Alexis Pittman on the assist from Shannon O'Neill for his 6th goal of the season to put the Braves up 1-0. Despite being outshot 23-6, the Pacers had an answer in the 85th minute from leading scorer Catherine McHale. The senior puts this one down from inside the box on the cross to even things at 1. But it was Alexis Pittman coming right back in the 90th minute for the Braves. And this goal, with 25 seconds remaining, gave the Braves their 11th win of the year. It pushes them closer to trying to host a PBC tournament match this next week.
Keep your eye on UNCPBraves.com to see where Braves soccer will play Tuesday in the first round of the PBC tournament. This afternoon's match against Young Harris can be seen on the UNCP Sports Network. Volleyball wrapped up a 3-game homestand this week, hosting USC Aiken. Let's head to Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court to check out the action.
UNC Pembroke volleyball got off to hot starts in its first and second sets against USC Aiken last week on Tuesday, but the Braves had trouble finishing off sets 1 and 2. They held leads, in fact, in all 3 sets against the top team in the Peach Belt Conference, the Pacers, but it was a 3-0 win for USC Aiken. You look at some of those standouts. Michaela Elliott with 7 kills in on 9 blocks. Sakia Jones and Madeline Ashwell each had 5 kills on the match as well.
The Braves play Barton Tuesday in Wilson, North Carolina, and return home for Francis Marion November 3rd for Faculty Appreciation Night. It was a big showing for cross country at last weekend's Peach Belt Conference Championships. Freshman runner Silas Kipkoech won the men's championship, posting a personal best in the 8K race. Crossing in just over 24 minutes, Kipkoech became just the 2nd individual to win a conference championship in Braves history. The men's team came in 2nd overall, while the women finished 5th in the field. Cross country heads to Wingate on November 4th to take part in the NCAA Southeast Region Championships. And UNCP Golf was at the Flagler Fall Slam this week. Let's take a look at their final competition of the fall.
UNC Pembroke was at the Flagler Fall Slam, the final competition of the fall season for the Braves. 4 of the 5 UNC Pembroke golfers carded lower scores in the second and final round of the Fall Slam last Tuesday to move the Braves into 11th in the competition of the 18-team field. There on the east coast of Florida, the standout was freshman Maddie Corley. She was +5 for the tournament, shaved 1 stroke off her first round score with a final round 74 to finish in a tie for 14th in the 98-player field. That marks the end of fall competition for the Braves. They will be back in action in the spring, February 3rd through the 4th at the Barton Invitational that's hosted in South Carolina.
Finally, UNCP swimming and diving recorded its most lopsided win in program history last weekend with a 136-5 showing over William Peace. Barton hosted the meet and defeated UNC Pembroke 141-49. The Braves set 5 school records, while 12 swimmers broke their personal best times. That does it for our look back at last week, and with homecoming kickoff just a few hours away, we'll sit down with football head coach Shane Richardson next when we come back on the Black and Gold Report. Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report. UNCP football hosts its final home game of the season today. I sat down with the head coach of the Braves, Shane Richardson, to talk about senior day and the matchup with Lenore Ryan. Coach, let's start off talking this week by just looking back a week prior at Concord, and let's just start with your general thoughts on that game.
Well, I think we had a good trip up there, and guys were excited to play, and I think coming off the bye week, guys were really anticipating getting back out there to have an opportunity to show what we can do. And I think there was a little bit of momentum coming out of the Wingate game, and we wanted to continue to try to ride that a little bit. And, I think we went up there and we started out really well. And, I think what happened was we came into some adverse situations, and there were just a string of plays here and there, really offensively, defensively, and special teams wise, where you just can't make some of those mistakes and expect to come out and win the game. And so I was really proud of our effort. I was really excited to see a lot of categories improve statistically. And with that being said, at the end of the day, we still came up short on the scoreboard, and that's what's disappointing.
The offense had its best yardage total of the season. What did you think about their play in general, and how do you kind of evaluate what they were able to do?
Well, I think when it was clicking, it felt really, really good, and it felt like we were in control at sometimes in the game. And there were some really good passing efforts and catching and throwing, and Dom kind of struggled to be accurate on the deep ball, but there was a lot of intermediate stuff that took place where he was really good at, and some receivers made some plays, and I think there was a lot of yards after the catch too. And then also in the running game, and we had 171 yards rushing, I believe it was, and there was a lot of really good things that took place there. If you saw on one of those touchdowns, the O-line really pushed the pile all the way into the end zone. That was really fun to see, and so there were a lot of really fun things to see out there offensively, and I was really proud of the way that they played. Although you can't throw a pick six, you can't fumble, and you can't throw another interception when you're going kind of in the red zone area, going in for another score. And so those things just kind of set you back. And so now you're playing neutralizing offense, where you're kind of doing enough good stuff that's good, but then the bad stuff catches up to you, and it just kind of nullifies everything.
You mentioned that kind of just trying to be in a neutral position, but for you guys, it's also been a little bit of the big play after you guys have a touchdown, come right back, a 77-yard touchdown. What is it for the defense that's making them kind of susceptible to that big play this year?
Well, that's a great question. If I knew that exactly, I would tell you. I think after we watched the film, there's three guys that are out of position right where the ball hits. And it's just the concept of everybody doing their job and everybody really focusing on making sure that you're in the right position and you're taking every play seriously and having a sense of urgency to do it. And all the way from a guy on the D-line, a guy at linebacker, a guy at safety, those three guys had a direct impact on that play, and they're all out of position.
Right.
And you cannot do that against other good teams. And he was a good running back, he was fast, and we certainly couldn't catch him for 77 yards. So that's what happens when you kind of just take a little play off here or there, and you're not quite as sharp as what you need to be.
You mentioned the running backs, and it's a young group, the trio on Saturday, obviously each kind of having their own individual moment in the game. How have you seen them grow throughout this season?
Well, I think they've been able to do some things with a young offensive line in front of them where they've got to create things, and they've got to be extremely patient. I think it's been a good test of their character and their attitude, and I think that's been the biggest thing that I've seen that they've had to deal with, and I think they've responded really well to that. They continue to support the offensive line and cheer them on and encourage them, and I think they understand what that looks like. And so I think what happens is the offensive line starts to improve and get better, and I think we have the past few weeks. And all of a sudden now they both start to gel, and now the running backs start to feel like, oh, you know, there's some more open space for me to work with here. The gaps are a little bit bigger. There's an opportunity for me to, you know, not have to make everybody miss at the first level, and you know, they start to trust each other more and that type of thing. And so it's been good for them to just kind of go through that process of it being a little more difficult than usual, but yet kind of earning and being patient and continue to persevering through that.
When you take a look at this team now for this whole week, kind of bullet points, things that you guys be focused on, what's the main message the team has to take home over the next few days before they play?
Well, I think if you want a premier result on Saturday, the process has got to be premier Monday through Friday. And I think it's very simple. And you know, that's where the math is very, very simple, and it's 1 + 1 = 2, and there's no way else around it. And you know, I think everything that you do Monday through Friday, in your habits, in your training, in your preparation, in all the things you think and speak and prepare for, and how you respond, and how you go about your business, and how you go out there and practice, it all makes a difference, and it's going to be an investment and a deposit for what Saturday is going to look like. And so if you leave something to chance Monday through Friday, if you don't quite go as hard as what you could, or you kind of skip over things, and you kind of, you know, have that mentality, that's what you're going to go into Saturday with as well, because you're going to revert back to your habits and your mentality of what you trained, and we want to make sure that we're on the upside of that in a premier process.
All right, we'll look for that premier process on Saturday as well. Thanks for the time as always, Coach.
Great. Thanks, Trevor.
That was Shane Richardson with us. We're going to take a timeout in the Black and Gold Report. When we come back, we're previewing basketball with a look back at Moonlight Madness from a week ago. That's up next here in the Black and Gold.
Connect with Brave Nation, the student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Use the app to earn points by checking in at select events. Follow the action and watch the Braves live.
In the 109th minute, the Braves come up with the victory.
Don't forget to check in at events to earn points. More points equals more prizes and chances to be selected for in-game promotions. Set up notifications on your phone so you don't miss out on exclusive experiences. Share your check-ins with friends on social media and keep earning points. Download the app, attend events, and get rewarded.
Hi everybody, welcome back into the Black and Gold Report. With basketball season right around the corner, Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court was rocking last week at Moonlight Madness. Let's check out some of the best moments from the annual season kickoff event. The UNCP men's basketball team opens up with a pair of exhibition games at Creighton this Friday and then at Northern Iowa on Sunday. Women's basketball gets things going at home in 2 weeks against Fayetteville State. Fans can follow all the action on the UNCP Sports Network. We'll take another break, but you don't want to miss our final segment. Reporter Matt Sabatis is hitting the road with some of our UNCP student athletes in the first installment of Golf Cart Karaoke next. The final segment of the Black and Gold Report, and we're going to sing your way right into today's soccer and football homecoming action. Reporter Matt Sabatis has his golf cart ready to go and is cruising the campus with volleyball's Bailey Jones and Miranda Queta. Check this out.
how we doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
You guys ready?
Yes.
You're already nervous, I can know.
Nervous? No, I'm so ready to sing. Let's go.
All right, so we've got Bailey and Miranda.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? All right. So, you guys have a game tonight.
Yes, we do.
Were you more excited for this or the game? Let's be honest here.
Definitely more excited for this.
Yes.
I'm so excited to sing.
I'm a pretty good singer.
Yeah.
Do we tell that to Coach?
No, definitely not. No.
Well, I'll be sure to tell him.
No stadiums.
Yeah,
All
no
right,
stadiums for these Braves.
All right, so you came in, you had a few songs picked out. What were
Okay.
some of the songs you guys were most excited to sing?
Well, for me, I definitely love Party in the USA.
Party in the
Yes,
USA?
I'd second that.
Because Miley Cyrus is
She is the bomb.
pretty talented.
Yeah.
Yes, and everybody knows that song. You know, it's a doable song. People can sing along with us.
That is a good song to start at,
Yes.
so we might as well start.
Okay.
We'll go with that one.
I hopped on the plane at LAX with my dreams in my cardigan.
Welcome to the land of fame excess. Am I gonna fit in?
I jumped in the cab, here I am for the first time. Look to my right and I see the Hollywood sign.
This is all so crazy. Everybody's looking so famous. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the taxi man turned on the radio and a Jay-Z song was on.
And a Jay-Z song was on.
And a Jay-Z song was on.
So I put my hands up to play my song.
Nobody's far away.
Nodding my head like yeah. Moving my hips like yeah. I put my hands up to play my song. You know you're gonna be okay. Yeah. It's a party in the USA.
So, what position are you guys? Are you guys the same position?
Yes, we're both setters.
Okay, you're both setters. Who would do better at a different position? Say both of you were the libero, or
Oh gosh.
who would do better?
Probably Miranda if I had to guess.
I would say probably me because I'm shorter.
You're shorter.
But if Bailey was in the front row, definitely Bailey.
Definitely Bailey. So which one of you? Which one of you is doing better in school right now? Do you think?
Ooh, I don't know.
Classes wise.
Class-wise, we're probably about even.
Really?
If I had to guess.
What are your guys' majors?
Exercise sports science.
Exercise, sports science.
Special education.
Oh, my mom's a special ed.
Oh, awesome.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What are you guys? So you want to be a physical therapist? I'm
Yes.
guessing? And what sort of field in special ed?
I'm not sure yet.
Not yet. Not sure.
I want to be in probably like the high school setting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you'll get to work with kids.
Yeah,
and
you got time.
You'll get to work with kids, and kids love Disney movies. So it's time for Little Mermaid.
Okay.
Don't see how a world that makes such wonderful things could be bad. Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here you think, sure, she's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You got one thing of the boss?
I got 20.
But who cares? No big deal. I want more. My questions and get some answers. What's a fire and why does it? What's the word? Burn. When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore the shore above? Oh, let's see. Which way could be? Part of that world.
one.
Shows how long it's been since I watched.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the whole scene through my head. I was like, oh, okay. Definitely one more. Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Let's see. Let's go with California Girls.
Okay. Yes.
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 Katy Perry.
Yes.
This is a good one.
Okay, I can remember these words.
It's not like California outside, but
No.
I'll still sing it.
Let's take a journey.
I know a place where the grass is really greener.
Oh, that's okay.
So much for that.
The joys of
That was a good
Spotify.
one.
Yeah.
Let's try that again.
Retake. Take two. I know a place where the grass is really greener. Warm, wet and wild. There must be something in the water. Sipping gin and juice, laying underneath the palm trees. And the boys break their necks, trying to creep a little sneak peek.
What?
California girls were unforgettable. Daisy Dukes, bikinis on top. West Coast represent. Now put your hands up. Fitting ready. Turn it on, cause it's getting heavy. Wild, wild, West Coast. These are the girls I love the most.
We can skip this verse.
Okay, good. I was like,
We'll skip this verse. I thought I knew it, but I guess I haven't heard the song in a while.
I
All right,
know.
well, did you girls have fun?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
I'm glad. Now, one last question. When
Okay.
you came to college, did you ever think you'd be doing anything close to this?
Not at all.
Exactly.
Definitely not.
Not at all.
But at least you had fun.
Yes,
Yes.
we did have fun.
All right, so Bailey and Morena, thank you so much for coming.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you
so
for
much
inviting
for
us.
having us.
All right, let's drop you off.
Get rid of us. Here's your cue.
Well, thank you, Matt. Thank goodness they are better volleyball players than singers. That's all the time we have this week on the Black and Gold Report. Enjoy today's homecoming action. Remember, it's a noon soccer kickoff and football gets going at 4 p.m. Until then, we'll see you next week.